Hey guys, Gameboy3800 here with a bit of a different video. We are here with a big old laptop. Yep, this is a Clevo D900T, and it's got an Intel Pentium 4 at 3.8 gigahertz. Actually, that's a lie. I have overclocked it to 4 gigahertz using a program called Clock Set or Clock Stop or something like that. It's by the same people who do CPU-Z. And this score, the first one you see there, 0.62, was at the stock speed of 3.8. And then I tried a 3.9, and that got a 0.62, or 0.64, I mean. So pretty good scaling. And now I'm trying 4 gigahertz. So if we're going on the same scale, this should hit 0.66, where 100 megahertz gets you 0.2 of a point. I guess the goal would be 0.69, but I don't know if this old power supply can handle like a 4.1 gigahertz, or if the CPU is even good enough for 4.1 gigahertz. I don't know. So, yeah. Overall, the overclocking experience has led to only one crash when I didn't know I had to launch the program in admin mode, but ever since then, it's been really easy to find the clocks and set them. And they do show up in CPU-Z, so it's not just a one program thing. CPU-Z also shows it's running at 4 gigahertz. So that's really cool. And obviously this is Cinebench 11.5. The reason I'm running 11.5 is because I've actually benchmarked like 20 of my other computers, and I'm going to do some kind of video in the future, either like a couple laptops at a time, or one at a time, or all at once, where we just compare the benchmark scores, ranging from a Pentium 4M at 1.4 gigahertz, all the way up to an i7 Extreme Edition. They're all laptops, so that's the one limiting factor. If I were to do desktops, then they'd all be very, very fast, and I'd be out of space in no time. But because they're laptops, I got storage space for them, and it gives us a unique opportunity to see what some of these computer designers, manufacturers, had to do to cope with the Pentium's heat, or these processors' heat. Some chunky designs like this, and many more, are to be featured. But for now, I'm just trying to see this results, because I've never overclocked a Pentium 4 in a laptop before. I had overclocked a 3 gigahertz chip before, getting it up to 4.7 gigahertz, but I was on chilled water, so, you know, that's one thing. I'll let the rest of this finish up, and I'll see you at the results screen. The results are in, and as predicted, the score is 0.66. This thing is running like clockwork, literally, because it's increasing in clock speed. Haha, funny joke. Save and do not overwrite. I want to keep all the scores, and I'll show the process of overclocking this. Just gotta go to ClockGen, run as admin. I also got the sound working on this somehow, so that's cool. And I will also go ahead and open up CPU ID. Close that. And here we see the very simple slider for changing our clock speed. You can see we're running at 4 gigahertz right now. And if I change it by, say, about 50 megahertz and hit apply, it immediately goes into CPU-Z. Now, I'm going to be conservative and just keep it where it is. 4.04 gigahertz. Because I've heard that some Pentium 4s, especially the older ones, this is about the limit, the 4 gigahertz, at least on air. Now the D9T is a extremely chunk laptop. Take a look at this. And the heatsink itself weighs more than some people's souls. And the air coming out the back of it right now is not hot, it's just warm. The fans are always on because I set that into BIOS. But overall, that's what's up. Now I think I'll go for broke. 4.1. Hit apply. Yep, and it applied. Look at that. 4.1 gigahertz on a laptop. And the cool thing is I can close clock gen so it's not using up CPU cycles. And it does stay in CPU Z. I'll close that so it's not using cycles either. Get Cinebench back up and running here. That was a pretty quick launch. System's feeling a little bit snappier. Could just be me though. And Task Manager, making sure Cinebench is given good priority, so set it to high. Not real time, that just breaks the computer. And I'll give it a few minutes to cool down because it did just complete a run. But I'll see you at the tail end of the next run, unless it just immediately blue screens and I hit run. Should be interesting. Tail end of a run. Ooh, diminishing returns. 0.67. The 0.69 dream may not happen. I might be reaching the limits of the power supply. It's only a 220 watt. Which normally for a laptop is like mega powerful. What am I doing? But Pentium 4s, they draw even more power than that. I gotta launch this admin. Otherwise it'll just crash the system. I wanna know, is it keeping 4.1? Looks like it is. I think we're reaching the limits of either the CPU or the power supply. I'll see if 4.2 will apply. No, 4.2 is the limit. Or that's where it crashes. I'll reboot it and see if I can get 4.15. Alright, I've got it back up to 4.1. I'm going to go up one tick at a time and just see where it crashes. That way I will know my limit. At least of this motherboard's PLL chips and stuff. 4.13. 4.14. 4.14, or what is it? Yeah, 4.14 is the limit. That's where I'll stop. Alright, I've rebooted it. It's at 4.14 gigahertz or 4.135, around that area. Basically 4.14. And I'm recording just to make sure that as soon as I hit record, the system won't just freeze or die. Otherwise 4.1 will be the limit. Let's see here. We have a benchmark, boys. Alright. I'll catch you at the tail end of it. Yep, still going. Nah, it's not stable. It got a little bit through, but obviously not the whole thing. So I'll step it back 10 megahertz. It didn't completely crash, but it's going to have to be 4.13 gigahertz, it looks like. It should be good. Validate it with CPU-Z. And 4.126. Alright. Get Cinebench back open. Because I don't know why it closed to begin with. Other than maybe just very unstable. Alright, we will try again. Just waiting for it to confirm. There we go. Alright, we're coming up towards the tail end of this final run. Will it be the 0.69 Dream? I hope so. .68, no! If I could get 4.2 gigahertz, it would do it. But I need to be running everything cold, fresh. Like cold boot, straight to 4.2 gigahertz, and if it sticks, go straight for it. Otherwise, that's what I got. 0.68 for the Pentium 4. Drawn old laptop.